Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our new series called The Shrimp Bites, where we interview the best and brightest entrepreneurs from South Florida that have previously been on our main show, The Shrimp Tank. So when we aired episode 0 through probably about 100, we were doing it in our local studio. Then COVID-19 hit and we had to move over to the FU College of Business. So we haven't had episodes 100 through 200 in our original studio. So how cool is this that we're going to bring our guests back into the Shrimp Tank studio, the original, and really find out where they are now. Travis Neal is my co-host of the Shrimp Bite series. So Travis, how's everything going this morning?
It's going wonderful. What's going on, everyone? This has been such a cool segment to get to see business owners, of course, give us an update, as many of them are budding and many of them, like Good Greek, are established. But, of course, they always have new things going on, and we love having them back to tell us those updates.
Yes. So now we have 200-plus episodes of the Shrimp Tank. Head over to our website, shrimptankpodcast.com. Catch it on any of the podcast apps. And we had some amazing guests on our episodes the last couple of weeks. TRX, the founder, sold his company. He didn't disclose it, but they were doing $100+ million of revenue in 2019. And now we just started Outfit. So it's just been such a cool series. We had Place of Hope on recently, just telling his journey and how he's helping the local community. Trust, what have you learned from all these Shrimp Bite episodes? Now you're on the air. You're my co-host over here, and you get a chance to grab the mic. 200 episodes. Tell us 3 things you learned.
First thing will be just get started. There's never
Yes.
the right time to get started. So if you have a passion for something, you have to jump in and learn as you go. The second thing will be people. People. It's all about people, whether that's your employees or your customers. Sometimes we lose focus with all the different facets of business. And the third thing will be just have fun. I see all these entrepreneurs, they really enjoy what they're doing and feel like, it brings fulfillment, that they're really, fulfilling a need in the community that's out there.
I like that last one because too often people take work too seriously and they don't have fun. And then they go to work on a Monday and they hate it. But when you look at all the entrepreneurs we've interviewed, like, they love going to work on Monday, right? They're excited. They're not saying on Friday, oh, it's Friday, I can't wait, right? It's not like that when you have a opportunity that you're fulfilling and helping the local community. So let's get to our guest today. We have Spero from Good Greek on the show, and he's going to tell us all about his new business venture. He was just telling me all about it prior to the show, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So Spero, welcome back to the Shrimp Tank. How's everything been?
Excellent, thanks. It's great to be back on the show, albeit my first time in this studio.
Yes, how you like it? Pretty different, right?
It's great. The original Shrimp Tank.
Yes,
I'm honored.
Yeah, a little different. The one at the FU College of Business is pretty cool. That you walk into the front doors of a huge university, but it is a difference, right? It's a big boardroom table compared to the small little box we have here with styrofoam on the wall, lights on, right? It's more of a studio feel. I like this studio personally.
Hey, this is the original. That's where it all started.
It sure did. And when we're done with this episode, you're going to sign the famous Shrimp Tank wall. We haven't done that in so long.
I'm sitting here thinking, what am I going to write? I saw these great quotes up there.
I have a quote, words of wisdom.
Absolutely. So tell us, I guess, for our audience listening, we did an episode about a year and a half ago. It was right around when COVID, was still going on. Obviously, so many people were moving from New York to Florida, California, Florida, everywhere. So your business, I'm assuming, was booming. Was that correct?
Booming, yeah. When COVID first came on, there was a lot of uncertainty. With many businesses, ours as well. But once the moving and storage business was deemed essential, we really took off, and COVID was good for our business. In one respect. On the other hand, it was very difficult, right? With a lot of restrictions, especially with doing business in hospitals or assisted living facilities, just all the different measures we had to take, and then of course dealing with COVID with our own employees, right? So anyway, we're pretty much done with talking about COVID, right? But we all did that. It's behind us, and it put us on the fast track though to where we are today, and Good Greek is no longer just a moving and storage company. We are now your total relocation solutions, meaning we can help our clients every step along the way, from listing your house to finding the new house, and then, of course, everything in between.
There's the buzzword, right?
Yes.
Total.
So have other brands tried this? Because it is hard. I know everyone thinks like it makes perfect sense, right? someone like myself goes from New York to Florida, right? We start looking up real estate, and the first step is we find the home we want to purchase. And then once we get into contract, right, then we got to hire an attorney, we got to go to closing, and then of course, we got to look up moving companies, right?
Sure.
And everything comes together. Then we get down there, you do the closing, right? You need a title company, do the closing, and then eventually you need homeowners insurance. You need auto insurance. I mean, everything changes overnight.
Yeah.
And I'm in the financial service business, so I'm actually the one giving tips to all my New Yorkers moving down here because I work with a lot of retirees. And of course, Florida's known, you work your butt off in New York and you get down here and retire and live a happy life by the beach. So like, tell us how this is all going to come together.
So it's a great question because, there are other companies out there that call themselves relocation companies, but they're really nothing more than probably a realtor who's got some more initiative than an average realtor per se, and maybe he'll make some phone calls on your behalf and get some quotes from a mover, or maybe he'll go above and beyond and look into a school district for you. And that's great, right? Because they're looking out for the client and trying to give more value than the average realtor per se. But that's not a relocation company. I'm going to make a bold statement on the Shrimp Tank to say that we are America's only full-service relocation company in America and possibly the world. And here's what I mean by that. First of all, Good Greek Realty is the company that's going to list or find you your new home. Good Greek Realty, in-house. Now, what's great about Good Greek Realty is, yes, we have our own brokerage and we have our own realtors, but what's the strength behind Good Greek Realty is our robust realtor referral program, meaning I've got realtors all over the country. You're looking for a luxury condo in Seattle, I've got the guy. You're looking for a golf course community in Boca, I've got the gal. So it's not just the Good Greek Realtors, but it's beyond that. Caldwell, Kai's, Corcoran, I work with all of them. And they've got relationships with us, and they reciprocate. So that's one.
Now, did you start that from scratch, or did you go out and just purchase an existing realtor group?
We started from scratch. I did it after many, many years of being in the moving business, working with many realtors, developing great relationships, but realizing that there was a disconnect. Many realtors didn't feel good about referring movers, any mover, and vice versa. And finally, I said, we got to bridge this gap because these industries go hand in hand, and the clients really don't know how to choose a realtor. How do you choose a realtor? Yeah, I mean,
it's mostly through referral. Most people call a friend, hey, someone who's good.
Yeah, but that's not exactly.
And then they check their reviews, and then they jump in. Right, well, that's typically what I see out there.
Yeah, well, we vet every realtor that becomes a partner, and we make sure that they're the top in their group, the best of the best, and that they specialize in exactly what our clients are looking for. So, and that's the first step, right? Selling your house or finding the house. And then, of course, I realized that if we're going to provide all these services, they got to be in-house and they got to be top-notch. So, same thing with insurance. You mentioned insurance. Yes, I partnered up with a small group, and I bought an interest in an insurance company, and it's now called Good Greek Insurance Agency. We're offering personal lines, home, auto, also commercial lines. And so now we can help our clients with their new homeowners policy, switching over their automobiles, and soon going to offer life.
Which makes perfect sense because the second you move somewhere, then all of a sudden you got to change the car tags, right? Got to get to that DMV, you got to work that out, and then you need auto insurance, and then, of course, homeowners insurance is automatic right at closing. It's required. Typically.
And title, right? I mean, as the insurance agency, we can also handle the title work for you, especially if we're helping you with.
And most people don't care about title. They're like, "What is this? Just get it for me."
The realtor usually.
No one is searching title. Right?
Exactly.
That's just an automatic, donation, not donation, but profitable scenario where if you're in there, you're getting it, right? They're like, "Yeah, sure, I need title."
Yeah,
right? And no one's really looking at the prices.
When did this all click for you, Spero? Because it's all very recent come about, right? It's a lot of work to create a full-service brokerage, 2 full-service brokerages, but obviously the value add is there.
It is. Look, a lot of this was to solve issues even for ourselves, right? Because our clients would come to us and ask us for, advice on a lot of things, and we a lot of times we didn't know which way to steer them either, and because we anything we put our brand on, we want it to be top notch, right? So even a referral is got to be backed up with a good Greek quality of service. So the only way to really to do that is to keep it under our umbrella. And so rather than just private labeling something good Greek, I said, no, I got to be involved. So the insurance agency I bought a major interest in, I'm going to be heavily involved with that. I'm going to handle title through that as well. Same thing with the real estate, right? I'm the owner of the firm. Yes, we have a broker and all that, but it's our agents and beyond our agencies. Now, the moving and storage, of course, was our bread and butter, still is, and people recognize us as that. We're the best in the business. We're the largest moving company in the state of Florida, and we're expanding beyond that. But we've expanded those services even. Auto shipping. Now we don't subcontract out our automobile shipping services. We do it ourselves. We've added to our fleet of services, and we offer our own auto shipping services. In addition to that, we also offer junk removal. Whenever you're moving, it's a good time to purge and or maybe donate some stuff that you don't want, right? So we've got the dump trucks with the hydraulics. So you don't have a helping hand and you don't know what to do with certain things. We can come there before, during, or after moving day.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Is it one website then that people visit and they see all these services, or due to the regulations, you have to keep like the real estate business with one website, the auto insurance, homeowners insurance on another website? How does that all come together?
That's a good point. We are compliant with each industry and its regulations, and each company does have its own website. Good Greek Realty's got its own website, but because I have common ownership under goodgreek.com, you can certainly tab through and find the different services and find the individual websites that will direct you to the different companies.
And obviously you had a lot of experience with these different things, these different lines of insurance, obviously real estate in your business over the years, and it all boils down to customer service, all three of these industries. But being that those weren't your two primary industries over the years, what did you do to, bring key people around yourself that is going to offer the top quality service for each of these new services?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. I've been dealing with these industries for almost 30 years, and I come across all walks of life, and I've been fortunate enough to come across great people, and that's how I built my company, and this is how I'm adding on to the total relocation package is by doing business with people that I've come to know, people that I've come to like. For example, my partners in the insurance agency, one was my commercial banker, and the other was a fellow who was handling my insurance at our franchise headquarters. I mean, so these are great people that I've known for years, and just people that I wanted to do business at a higher level, at a more intimate level. And they also admired the growth of Good Greek and the vision we had, and they wanted to be a part of it, and they wanted to be rebranded as such. So it was just a perfect matchup. And then the same thing holds true with on the mortgage side, which I was kind of holding back on that because it's not official, but I'm so excited about it that Waterman Bank out of Illinois has a charter here in Florida, and they want to open up branches. But what I'm really excited about is that they want to do Good Greek Mortgage Group with us as their lending division, and then we want to also expand that into the state of Illinois. So we're really excited about that. We're having meetings today to try to finalize that. But so now we're talking about
everything,
lending. We talk about a qualified buyer. I mean, we're going to get them pre-qualified with a loan. We're going to find the house, sell the house, get them insurance, do the title, move them, pack them, ship their car, get rid of their junk.
Total vertical integration.
I might even walk your dog for you if you ask nicely.
So is there a saving to using our services? Is it just purely it eliminates so much friction, so much hassle, I guess, for that consumer?
No, of course. Look, the intent here is to provide more value to my client. It is to provide a high level of service, but I am going to incentivize our customers with savings. When a customer lists or buys through Good Greek Realty, they get their packing materials for free, up to $500 of boxes, packing tape, paper, delivered free. When they get a loan through Good Greek Mortgage Group, we're going to give them $300 towards their appraisal. Nice. Insurance, of course, we're going to, especially when you do the house, the cars, and all that, we're going to give you special rates and give you a nice package. and on and on and on. Of course, when you move with Good Greek, you're going to get, once you utilize all the services, you're saving money. You're keeping it in the Good Greek family. We're putting our name on the line with every one of these services. We have a lot to lose. We have a lot of skin in the game. And
it's the Amazon effect. Once you go and start using Amazon all the time, you just say, hey, instead of going over to Walmart, Target on their online shopping carts, you're like, I just want to stick in that lane. And I see the same thing happening as most consumers just get frustrated having to call another person, and create a new file, explain the situation over and over again. And the way we live in society today is, we want to eliminate friction, right? We want to get to a point where we could just make things easier when doing the move. And everyone who moves has frustration. I haven't met anyone who moved from New York to Florida who said it wasn't the worst thing ever and they would never do it again. Like, that comes out of everyone's mouth.
Very stressful.
So what was the most daunting sector for you to take on? Because you said you have a lot of skin in the game.
So far the banking, the mortgage has been the toughest piece to put together because of compliance issues and so forth. So but look, to do things right, you got to do things right, and it just takes longer. A lot of entrepreneurs sometimes are a little impatient because we want to do things right away, and I'm a little bit like that, but I'm also a stickler for doing them right. So my impatience is only because I'm excited and I want to get things going. But personnel is always going to be an issue, right? I've got great partners, but in order to elevate them and grow the company, we need more people underneath them, right? More sales staff and customer service, because what we don't want to do, as we talked prior to the show, is we don't want to sacrifice any one of these services, right, to create another, right? I'm known as a great mover, and I want to keep that reputation, not at the risk of being a bad realtor. So that's self-imposed
which
pressure.
is a hard industry.
It's a hard industry. They're all hard industries.
It's cutthroat, the real estate industry, and a lot of people are quick to complain today. There's a lot of unhappy folks out there, and you want to keep a great reputation under all the brands. So of course it will, be, it could go both ways. It could be amazing because now everyone's like, oh, this is the full package.
Sure.
And look, I'm getting 4 to 5 star reviews on every single person all around,
Right.
and they want to stay in that lane. Or one thing affects the other one, and it creates a domino effect of negative reviews because they can't tell the difference. They're leaving a review on 3 different sites, but they really meant to leave a negative review on one of the brands, right? Of course.
So tell us your take on what's going on right now with all of the movement in the real estate market. Are you going to get a lot of business moving everyone right back from where they came from? Or
Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think that's going to happen for.
It's going to be more and more coming this direction, huh?
Yeah. The momentum is still heading to Florida. Yeah. I think it's going to stay that way for some time. Just too many good things going on down here, and not enough good things going on elsewhere. And that pendulum swings, but
the regulations are getting worse and worse in California and New York. So everyone thinks that, as New York witnesses 20+% moving year to year to states like Florida, they're not lifting those restrictions on businesses. It's getting, we are in the insurance business as well as financial services.
Right.
New York is the only state that says when you're insurance licensed, you must do what's in the client's best interest, or you could personally be sued versus suitable. So all the applications, add an extra 10 pages to that. A lot of insurance brands just said, I'm done with New York, right? It's going to get too expensive to stay in here. Right. The amount of lawyers that they're going to have to hire, separate LLCs in the state of New York. So we're just seeing it go the wrong direction with business, in New York. Healthcare costs are skyrocketed in New York because they're the only state that doesn't do age bans for the Affordable Care Act. So your 30-year-old who wants to be a startup owner, which most people in their 20s and 30s want to be business owners.
Right.
It's the hottest thing ever. They can't do it in New York. LCs are like $1,500 to $2,000 in New York. Down in Florida, it's $125. Right. So, and then you're a business owner, 30 years old, and you have a family. Good luck. Insurance is $3,000 in New York, per month. So, that was one of the reasons I moved down here. I was a financial advisor, and I said, this doesn't make any sense for small business owners or startups. So you're just seeing the wave coming down here for a lot of those reasons. And people can work from their home, and they could hire people anywhere today. So there's no more like needing to get people into a brick and mortar situation.
That was the other revelation from COVID, right? We realized that work is not a place.
Yeah.
The financial districts of New York, they realized that, right? These big firms move to South Florida, and I don't think that's going to stop. You know, it used to be just a weather thing. You know, oh, we got sick of the cold, let's move to Florida.
Sure.
No longer. It's not just the cold. It's not, you know, hurricanes go everywhere. It seems, right?
Yeah.
Jersey, New York, everywhere. So that, you know, there goes that excuse to not live here. But no, I think Florida and other Sun Belt states as well, but Florida in particular came ahead of the pack after COVID. Perhaps the way the governor handled it, and other factors, right? You know, but I think Florida is going to be a shining star for a long time. And look, let's just hope that what made Florida great
Sure.
stays great.
Yes.
And you know, as entrepreneurs, we're going to do our part. I'm going to keep doing my part. Like you said earlier, I still love what I do. I enjoy what I do. I'm having fun. We're creating jobs and opportunities and even careers, because in addition to all the services we're providing, we also have a couple of programs for franchising and for training programs for ownership. You know, almost like a internship to ownership, no money down, where they someone with no experience can end up owning a good Greek franchise or a percentage of one.
Which is so hot right now. You know, so many people want to go down a career path that one day has, you know, opportunity in its sight, right? It's a clear path that they can own that business, that franchise, and scale with you, which is so cool. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, tell us about your routine. I mean, we love this, Travis and I, as entrepreneurs, and so often we don't know. Like, you know, we just see the brand from the outside, right, Travis? Like, we don't get that, like, that daily routine. Like, you know, what time do you wake up? Like, what's the first thing that you do? What do you do when you go to work? How do you stay in a positive, you know, mindset throughout the work week? It's so difficult as an entrepreneur because, you know, all of a sudden you get to work 9 a.m. and boom, you know, there's 4 emails and they're negative, right? And that could take you down quickly, or a phone call comes in, or one of these regulations that you didn't expect from the bank says, well, we can't do this until that is done. And it's time consuming to then hire an attorney to deal with these issues. So tell us your routine.
Yeah. So my routine is I have no routine. I'm not a
You
night.
put on the cape in the morning, you take the cape off at night.
You know, and sometimes I look up and I see the signal in the sky, and I fly out there. But no, you know, yes, I have an office. Our headquarters in Jupiter, and I do pop in there and I do spend time there. But I don't really keep office hours.
Okay.
I like to stay nimble. I'm always checking my emails, so I'm always on top of them and ahead of them.
What about weekends?
Weekends, you know, I don't know the difference between Saturday and Monday and Friday and Tuesday. To me, it's,
I like that.
you
What
know,
about on vacation? So our audience understands this.
I-
Like you take a trip to Aruba for a week. Do you check your emails?
I just got back from Greece 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. I was there for 25 days, and I worked the whole time and enjoyed myself the whole time at the same time.
See that, Travis? It's okay. You know, we always chat about this, Travis and I, in the office, because I feel like this mindset of like work is Monday through Friday, and you shouldn't be doing that, right? There's this mentality out there, and I'm not in that world. I'm like, what's the difference?
As a business owner,
how easy is it to check an email and hit respond?
yeah,
Right? How hard is it to call somebody back? You could do it in any country today. You know, self-service typically works everywhere.
the world is a small place today, and you know, business moves fast.
But it's things that people have been trained, like this is how it should be, right? And it's like, who came up with that? You know, like who said Monday through Friday, 5 days,
Right.
and that's when it should be jammed in work, and then you should shut off completely and you know, train your customers and clients that you have boundaries.
Right.
I'm like you. What's the big difference, right? You know, it's not that much effort these days because technology.
Yeah,
And you know, your customers, you know, want, you know, a response quickly. They don't want to be hanging there saying what's going on with my move, or
right.
they want to work with your brand. And the brands that do the best are very responsive. It's as simple as that.
Look, you either mean what you say, okay, and you stand behind it, or you don't. You know, you don't say you're the best 24/7, right? Call us anytime, but then you don't answer your phone on, you know, after 5 p.m. on a Friday. If you're a business owner, you're a business owner 24/7, 365. That's just the way it is. Now, can I do everything myself? Of course not. I've got 550 great people and more and growing by the day. So, I do my part. Everybody else has to do their part at the team. And, I check with my team leaders, right? They check with their team leaders and so
Sure.
on and so on. And you got to have systems in place. But I know what my customers expect because I'm a consumer. I know what I expect of services in the service business.
So after doing 200 interviews on the Shrimp Tech, we noticed a common trend that, the leaders that could go from 10 employees to 100 employees to 500 employees are doing something when it comes to company culture, right? There's always a reason why. The ones that are at 5 complain that everyone locally, it's their fault. Like it's the area. It's, people want too high of a pay. It's Indeed's fault. Their clicks are too expensive, right?
Yeah.
There's always an answer why. But then when we interview the best and brightest that have done it, it's something that they're doing around company culture. So what is it? What is Good Greek all about?
Good Greek is about providing people with the opportunity for them to maximize their potential, right? It's also one of the reasons why I wanted to expand into other industries because, look, moving, it's tough, right? It's tough physically, even in sales, you can get in a rut in the moving game.
Oh, of course.
But how cool is it that, now my sales guys, and a couple of them have already done it, went out and got their real estate licenses. Now they're realtors
Yeah.
and they're moving consultants. And now they're true relocation experts. And I can go on and on. Now hey, there's an opportunity if they want to go into the insurance field, or be mortgage brokers. So we've created now
cool.
many opportunities here where there's no glass ceiling. They can expand their professional horizons, and we just keep it fresh. We keep it fun. I do stay the course, and for those that find that difficult, because I will not waver. I've got a vision, and I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to give everybody everything they need to succeed, every resource. But some fall out. I'm not going to promise you and tell you that it's Candyland and, everybody does whatever they want. I mean, I got to 550 people after going through maybe 550,000 people in 30 years. I don't know. But I got the 550 best at the moment.
So
And,
we just had an executive leadership coach on the Shrimp Tank this week who talked about instilling culture and the core values for an organization. So what are the 1 or 2 or 3 core values that have brought those 550 people together to have the reputation that Good Greek has today?
The Good Greek way is about faith, honesty, integrity, courage. That's on our badge. That's what we go by, and we put the customer first. And I consider my employees my customers as well, right? I think about what their needs are, think about what my clients' needs are, and then we focus on that. That's the only way I can truly expand on a vision. If it's all about what I want and what the Good Greek Moving Company needs, that's very short-sighted, and I probably would have been out of this business a long time ago, and it wouldn't have been fun. A lot of movers come and go. I'm sure you guys have seen them, and some of the largest companies are not around anymore or have been merged and so on and so forth. But in an industry that's dying, in a sense, we're growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it always comes back to communication, right, and expectation. When we look at all the businesses we've ever had on the Shrimp Tank, the ones that just, set expectations with the first email that goes out, the first text message, they show up at the time. If they say the meeting's at 9 o'clock, they show up. They're hitting traffic. They call the person and say,
Right.
hey, 30 minutes behind. That's expectation that the person's not waiting at the door. Maybe they would have made breakfast that morning, but they didn't because they thought that person was arriving. So it always comes back just, being human at the end of the day and just, respecting people's time and just reaching out and telling them, what is going on. And then, of course, those customers then refer you. The biggest brands that scale, it comes word of mouth. Yeah, they're great marketers. We all know that. You can all run Facebook ads, TikTok, whatever
Right.
it is. But eventually that stops. It comes back to what Apple's done. It's like Apple doesn't do that much marketing anymore. It's all us. We market up like, oh, you got to try my
Sure.
new iPhone 13. Look at these cool features, right? And everyone shares it naturally. And same thing's going on with TikTok right now. Naturally, everyone loves TikTok because everyone's like, look how cool this is. But
A great company turns their consumer into their number one salesperson, right? Or
Yeah.
or their employees into their my movers are some of my best sales guys,
Yep.
and they're not even actually out there technically selling, but they are.
Yeah, I was down in Tavernier, Florida, on the upper Florida Keys the other day, my home away from home, and I ran into Christian with a big Good Greek truck. I wasn't expecting to see you guys on our tiny little island, so
There
I
you
had
go.
to run him over run him over some Gatorade. He was out there
That's good.
working hard and saying good things. So shout out to Christian.
That's awesome. But you're right. Communication is key, and not just with our clients, but if you want to instill the culture that you want, communication within the organization is also key.
Yes.
And sharing the vision, letting them know where we're going, not just let them know, hey, here we are, and it's just,
You are correct, because if you treat your employees right, they're going to treat your people right, you know, all the way down the line. And it was interesting. I was just watching a video all about that one person worked for the Four Seasons versus, I forget, it might have been the Hilton or Marriott, one of those, and he was two different people at both sides, because the Four Seasons let him be who he was. And when something went wrong, they didn't bash him. He didn't always feel like nervous that something was about to, happen and he was going to get in trouble by his manager. So it all started with the manager, and then above the manager, the team leader, that would, pressure people. So people would come to work and be scared to speak out, scared to do anything. So 100% agree with you. It starts with your people.
The one piece of advice I'll give to any business, to any company, and this will hold true whether it's trying to build a culture or trying to growing the staff, is investing in a training program.
Yes.
That's the number one key, because anybody who says they've got shortages or they can't hire this and that, or I can't find good people, that all might be very well true, but you got to look at in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong?
Yes.
And people don't know your culture unless you tell them what the culture is. So we started our own academy, the Superhero Movers Academy. So now a mover doesn't put in a t-shirt on and jump on a truck and learn on the customer's dime like most other moving companies do. It just doesn't happen.
Sure.
They have to graduate from our course, and they learn everything from customer service to packing and moving and paperwork and everything else, and the culture. When they go in there with a mindset, which is the good Greek way, or they don't make it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the academy, it runs 7 days a week, and even veterans get sent back
Nice.
if they need retraining, right? If we see a pattern where maybe there's a little bit of damage on a couple of jobs, or
everyone gets stale over time, right?
hey, it happens.
I remember that from your main show, March 1st, 2021.
Yeah.
That's very unique in the industry. Well, faith, honesty, integrity, courage, total relocation services. We're excited to see what happens with this new partnership with the bank for you, Spero.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for joining us on the Shrimp Tank. For everyone listening, as usual, we're live Wednesdays from 10 to 11 at Shrimp Tank Boca on Instagram, as well as Facebook live feed. Take care, everybody.